Good morning, our viewers. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching us from. Allow me to register my appreciation for your time to come and join us on our channel, Level Up a Space. We appreciate your subscription, we appreciate your views, your likes, and most importantly, your comments, which to us are a feedback on which is feeding into our growth and continuous improvement. We appreciate your time. We appreciate your presence with us on this channel of Level Up Space. Today we borrow from my mother tongue a saying, and a saying I'm going to directly translate so that all of us are on the same page. And we have a similar one in Swahili. In my mother tongue, it says that okoro borejaga wede. Directly translated, it means that old age feeds on your youthful years. And there's a similar one in Kiswahili that says ujana ni kama moshi, meaning that your youthfulness is like smoke. 1 minute you're full of life and you're energetic and you feel like it is you, and the next minute it is gone. What do we want to learn from the saying today that your old age feeds on your youthful years? It's about reflecting where we are today. How have you lived your youthful years if already you are past the youthful years? And in our country, we know it is at 35. And if you're still a youth, how are you living your life right now? Because as time goes by, you will be advancing in age and you will be old one day, retired either from employment or from self-employment. However, you can never retire from yourself. And that is the reason why we are having this moment, so that we stand guided and in knowledge that we need to be very careful how we are living at this time where we feel we have the energy, so that come the future years, we are grateful that we lived well in our youthful years. In taking our lesson today from the saying, I would want it to come and settle in a way that it is a sustainable lesson. Allow me to say this, that everyone born of a woman must taste the bitter keys of death. I'll take that again. That everyone born of a woman must taste the bitter keys of death. You will live. Either you live carefully or carelessly. The fact is that one day you and I are going to die. However, that is not a reason for anybody, for us to live carelessly. And that is the moral of the saying, that old age feeds on your youthful years. What we are being taught or being reminded is that there is need to strike a balance in this life, so that you live a fulfilling life. Don't harass yourself. I am saying strike a balance such that you're not in either extreme of the continuum. Meaning, don't overwork yourself at the expense of yourself, at the expense of your family, and at the expense of your other social circles. Neither am I saying you lag behind and you be very unproductive, such that in your old age you are a bother to everybody and you start complaining and wanting people to listen to you because you're whining how nobody is coming to your rescue. To be able to strike a balance, it is important you understand who you are. Remember, you have yourself. You have your work. If you have a wife or a husband or a life partner, then that is another relation. If you have a family with your partner, that is yet another responsibility. Not forgetting extended family, not forgetting you can't live in isolation, you have your social circles. Important is to understand how to apportion yourself in these relations, starting with yourself, your partner, your immediate family, nuclear family, your extended family, your social circles, and your work. How do you balance? Are you able to take everything, to do everything in moderation? When you think about your work, do you get so soaked in your work at the expense of your marriage, at the expense of your family, and to some extent at the expense of yourself, where you work and forget to take rest, to take breaks? Ultimately, burnout, stress, depression, and you lose yourself, your family loses you, your friends loses you, your employer will lose you as a resource person, or even your work. You need, as an individual, to understand yourself and know how to strike a balance in this life. Every day of the week, every week in a month, and every month in a year, you need to know what to do with yourself, when and how, so that at the end of the day, when it is your sunset days, you are settled looking back and saying, I did good to myself. If God allows you after 60 years and you're retired and you're seated back, you're no longer so much involved with activities out here. If your partner is still alive, you have a good relationship. That is when the children have left. Why? Because you're able to strike a balance, your work, your marriage, your family, and your social circles. If you are a father, if you are a mother, you have not lost touch with your children, irrespective of them having grown up and left to start their lives. You're still able to connect with them because you kept the connection when they were growing while they were working. For a simple reason, you are able to strike a balance. You have also not lost yourself in the midst of working. So you are in your sunset years, but you are happy and you feel you have lived and you are living a fulfilling life because you are able to strike a balance. Let us learn to do things in moderation. Let us learn to know when to do what, how, and where. Note this saying, and it is very interesting, I must say, where the young people say, ni wakati wa kupiga sherehe, usipige sherehe ukajisahau. Don't get into entertainment and having life because you feel youthful and forget that you're advancing in age. Do everything in moderation. Don't get to work and think from morning to evening it's about work. A day will come, time for work is gone. But what are you left with? Be careful what or whom you sacrifice. Don't abuse yourself. Don't abuse anybody by failure to acknowledge that you are advancing in age, and how you live your youthful years will inform how you live your old age. Not even forgetting your health, because if there is anything that threatens us when it is time to be at the sunset years, it is our health. Let us be physically active. Let us choose this lifestyle that socially, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, and even physically, we will look back and say, we lived well and we are happy with ourselves. Because the old age, when people look at you during your years, 60, 65, 70, 80, they can easily tell. They can map your journey backwards and know if you wasted yourself, if you abused yourself. Why? And let us be reminded, old age feeds on your youthful years. Ate ukoro burejaga withe.